Hello, warriors. Thanks for joining me again. I hope you're excited for today's webcast. We are going to talk about probiotics, the importance of having extra in your system, what supplements you can take that are good, including foods that help add probiotics, and the importance of adding probiotics to your child's dietary needs. Before I begin, I have some really awesome announcements, really just one big one. I do have the blog up. You guys can go and look at it. There's currently only a couple of posts. The cookbook blog is still being built and edited, so it's not quite ready like I had hoped for, but I am finally in California. I'm very excited for that. My next announcement is I started a Kickstarter fund to help start bringing Warrior Eats to the streets of San Francisco. And I'm really hoping that you guys will help me in doing so. And you can do that by donating to my Kickstarter project. You can go here. You can even follow us on Instagram to see some of the tasty recipes that are going into the cookbook and some that are coming to the truck. The web address for the blog is here. You guys can go and follow that. There's a free blog and there's the cookbook blog. So I hope that you will join us on our journey into bringing our food into reality. All right. On to the webcast. So I'm sure you're sitting here asking yourself how gut health is linked to your brain health and your mood. This was something we briefly discussed in our last talk. Well, I'm here to inform you that you've come to the right place. The answer is actually quite simple. You have good gut bacteria and you have bad gut bacteria. And you also have signals that go from your brain to your gut and vice versa. So when it comes to the gut-brain relationship, the communication is open in both directions. At least we think so. Until your gut bacteria and probiotics get a little wonky. Fun fact. Did you know that your brain is not the only organ inside of your body that produces serotonin? Your gut does as well, which means that your gut bacteria actually affects the secretion and production of serotonin inside of your system. So bacteria in our guts have a job to do. And it's a very big job, and it's to produce vitamins that help break down our food. Now, whether they're absent or present, these bacteria have been linked to obesity, irritable bowel syndrome, along with toxic side effects from prescription drugs that do the same thing. It has enormous implications for the sense of self. We are, at least from the standpoint of DNA, more microbial than human. Tom Insel, the director of National Institute of Mental Health. That's a phenomenal insight, and one that we have to take seriously when we think about the human development. If you think about this, I hope you agree with it. I 100% agree with this statement. Human development, we should take it more seriously. We as a society are so fascinated with finding the fountain of youth or the next best thing that's just going to prolong the inevitable, right? So we look toward labs to answer these questions for us, or rather come up with these solutions for us to find that magic pill or drink that's going to do this. When in fact, we really should probably be looking to our backyards for the answer. So how does gut bacteria affect the brain? The microorganisms that are harbored in our guts secrete a massive number of chemicals. Among them are substances that are found that are used by neurons that communicate and regulate your mood. Things such as dopamine, serotonin, and even GABA, as it's commonly known, versus gamma. Oh, I can't read my writing again. It's okay. I will start this part over. So, how does gut bacteria affect the brain? The microorganisms that are harbored in our guts actually secrete a massive number of chemicals. Among them are substances that are used by neurons that communicate and regulate your mood. Substances such as dopamine, serotonin, and even GABA. Incidentally, these same chemicals released were found to play a major role in the intestinal disorders that coincide with depression and anxiety, autism, and hyperactivity found in children, and have also been linked to their poor gut health. So your brain is anatomically isolated, therefore it is guarded by a blood-brain barrier. This allows nutrients in, but helps to keep out the bad pathogens and inflammation from your brain. So inside of you, running from your esophagus all the way to your rectum, lies a second brain, or your enteric nervous system, your ENS. It has two thin layers that are made up of more than 100 million nerve cells that line your gastrointestinal tract. That's a lot of cells. So this second brain, it can't help with doing your taxes or doing math or even teach you how to ride a bike. But it plays a vital role in controlling digestion. So everything from swallowing to the breakdown and the release of enzymes, even the control of the blood flow, helps with nutrients absorption and elimination of wastes. There are recent studies that have shown that your ENS may be the culprit behind IBS, stomach pains, digestion issues such as constipation and diarrhea, even mood swings, not caused from anxiety or depression. Rather, they have been found to contribute when the ENS is in poor health itself. So research has been showing that the irritation of the gastrointestinal tract sends signals to the CNS, the central nervous system, that actually trigger your mood changes. Another fun fact, 30 to 40% of the population has functional bowel issues at some point or another in their lifetime, all due to poor gut health, unfortunately. Things that we can fix by a better diet. So I bet you're sitting there asking yourself, but how can I keep a healthy gut? So one of the most common questions I get as a trainer is, what should I eat? The answer is simple. Stay away from crap. Carbonated drinks, refined sugars, artificial sweeteners and colors, and processed foods. This is the biggest reason that I eat as organic, natural, raw foods as possible. It helps with the guts so that I don't have to take as much extra probiotics put into my system. I get a lot of my good gut bacteria and good gut health from the foods I've already been eating. So if you haven't found like your you diet yet, then a great way to start toward a happier, healthier gut is by taking probiotics. I do, in fact, always make this a huge suggestion, and if you're a client, they always get probiotics on their list of supplements. The reason being is that while our systems actually produce probiotics on their own, we also excrete a massive number of them throughout the day, but we cannot regenerate them quick enough. So adding those extra in ensure that your guts and your intestines are going to stay healthy and in good standing. Therefore, a better, more positive mood all the time. If you're getting sick or you are sick, if you double, triple, or even quadruple in some cases, depending on what is going on with your system, the amount of probiotics and CFUs that are in your probiotics that you're consuming at one time, you can actually shorten the duration of illness or prevent it from happening, which is extremely nice, especially if you work with children or have children. So if you're looking on the food side and you don't want to spend the money on probiotics since they can get a little bit spendy, then there are some foods that you can eat on a daily that will help add extra probiotics back into your system. So the number one is yogurt. I'm sure most of us know this. Yogurt actually contains live cultures, but you have to look for this on the actual label. Otherwise, it's just cultivated milk. So you want to aim for yogurt that also has either natural sugars or no refined sugars whatsoever inside of it, as that does in fact kill the probiotics in your system. So another one that I personally love, which also gives you a good amount of protein, is kefir. And kefir can be a little bit of an acquired taste for some. It just depends. A really good way to start off with it is by adding it into a smoothie every day. My favorite company is Lifeway, and they have several flavors. I think they have about 5 or 6 flavors. They also have a plain whole organic one. The rest of them are just natural, and they're very, very good tasting. You do have to shake them up quite a bit and make sure that they're nice and mixed. The third thing that you can add into your daily routine, if you'd like, is 1 bottle of kombucha tea. Kombucha tea, if you look at it, has these little floating things inside of it. Those little floaty things are yeast that help create probiotics inside of your system. You want to be careful though, since kombucha tea is fermented, it has trace amounts of alcohol. Too much of it actually ends up killing the good gut bacteria inside of your GI tract instead of aiding create more. Bananas. Bananas are so good for so many things, aren't they? Such a simple food has such a big impact on the human digestive system. Bananas not only help keep harmony amongst your microbes, but they also help create more probiotics. Also, if you ever have a stomach ache, you can eat a banana and it will help subdue the pains, which is very, very nice. It has anti-inflammatory properties inside of it. The fifth food that you can add into your daily routine of eating, if you'd like, is polenta. Polenta is actually an insoluble fiber that moves directly into the colon, and there it ferments into multiple strands of gut flora, which is very, very good. You want multiple strands. The sixth food, which is actually a whole group of food, is cruciferous veggies such as broccoli, kale, Brussels sprouts, spinach, anything really, really green and vibrant. These are great. I found out about these from Rhonda Patrick's podcast, Found My Fitness. It's one of my favorites to listen to. These vegetables actually contain sulfur metabolites, and they help break down microbes in your system to release substances known to reduce inflammation, along with reduction risk of bladder, breast, lung, liver, colon, and even stomach cancers, which is really cool. So the sulfur-containing metabolites themselves, they latch on to carcinogenic intruders in the colon, and then they just kindly show them their way out. The studies on these have shown that those who actually eat more leafy greens regularly reduce their risk of developing colon cancer by 18%, which is awesome. The seventh food, this is my most favorite food. I would survive on this food. Blueberries. They are incredibly versatile and good for so many things. I will have to do another talk on those because they're amazing. So next time you decide that you're craving that piece of chocolate cake or that double cheeseburger fully loaded from your favorite fast food restaurant, you might want to stop and take a moment just to think about the after effects of how that food is going to make you feel. Maybe think about what it's going to do to your gut flora and good bacteria. All right, I talked about children and probiotics and the importance of this. Did you know that roughly 80% of your serotonin is produced inside of your guts? I know I told you guys that it's produced in your guts, but that's quite a bit. So imagine what kind of damage particular foods will do if your gut flora is thrown off. Children, their microbiome is oftentimes actually influenced by their mother. This happens when you pass through the birth canal, and unfortunately more and more nowadays, mothers are having cesarean sections instead of natural vaginal births. This actually prevents good bacteria from creating a foundation in an infant's system. A study done with children from the ages of 3 to 4 who were actually given milk with LGG, which is a strain of probiotics, the study found that a significant amount of support in the dental health of those children was increased. The study also found that LGG may actually work by moderating the growth of Streptococcus mutans. Streptococcus mutants are those little itty bitty nasty things that build up on your teeth and create cavities. They want to rot your teeth and make craters like the moon inside of them. So meanwhile, SK12 was actually found to protect little ears and throats. Probiotics actually influence your child's metabolism and weight as well. If probiotics are limited or not present during infancy, foreign material can actually seep through the permeable lining in your baby's gut. So breastfeeding not only sets up the grounds for your newborn's own healthy microbiome, but the colostrum in breast milk actually helps to form a protective barrier on the mucosal lining inside of your infant's intestinal tract and lining of the esophagus. Probiotics in children also help support a healthy brain during their growth and development. If you have children, whether you're an aunt or a parent or a godparent, I'm sure that you have even the basic knowledge that children are extremely susceptible and they're sponges during a certain age period, and again when they're teenagers. When they're toddlers and teenagers, their brains are very, very delicate. Giving them probiotics will help aid in the development of this so that they can learn and grow at a proper pace that they need to. So probiotics also help the digestion process in children, and it also aids in certain nutrients in your child that your child's body needs for healthy growth and development of their own bodies as far as their muscles and their bones go. Probiotics are also found to help support healthy urinary tract in girls and vaginal health as well, which is very, very nice. Urinary tract in boys as well. So now that you know some of the benefits of providing probiotics for your children, we can discuss some of the benefits of, or which companies would be best. So when you choose a probiotic, you want to choose one that has more than 2 strains. It's very, very important to give a variety of strains to your own gut bacteria as well as your child's. So when choosing these probiotics for your children, you want to make sure that you look for bifidobacteria and lactobacilli. These need to be present in any probiotic that you give a child. They are the foundation for the microbiome. There are a lot of trustworthy brands out there, but I have a few that I just personally love. I know them very well, mostly from my time spent working inside of the vitamin shop. One of them is Garden of Life, and I especially love this company because they keep their process very natural. They keep it very pure as well, and they actually grow their own probiotics, and they're all plant-based, which is really nice on the digestive system, and it helps break it down much, much easier. Spectrum Biotics. These guys are especially helpful for digestive issues or malabsorption, to help strengthen the immune system, allergies, and food sensitivity in children. And this one's also good for teens as well, so you don't have to hunt for one that's that weird in between an adult and a kid. Dr. Mercola Complete Probiotics. I especially love Dr. Mercola. I use more than just the probiotics from them. These ones are especially great for children who are very active. They come in tasty little single-serve packets, and it contains strains that resist stomach acid, which is actually very, very nice. Up 4. Up 4 is another brand that I really like, and I've actually personally used the adult version of the chewable cubes. I don't know how the children's cubes are, but the adult cubes were just a little bit waxy, but not so unbearable that you didn't want to chew it and taste it and swallow it. The children's comes like this as well, and they contain 1 billion CFUs, or colony-forming units. So not only are they easy for children to take, but they come in really tasty flavors too, which is nice. Well, I hope you guys got some great information from this episode on gut bacteria. So the next time that you're supplement shopping, I hope that you remember some of this advice and apply it to the strains that you're looking at, the probiotics and brands that you're looking at. And don't forget, you can also feed these and give these to your children. You can even give them to dogs and cats. It's great for them too. I'll see you guys on the next podcast. Don't forget to share, subscribe, and follow me on Instagram or Facebook. I'll see you guys next time. Have a healthy week.